One option if you want to enter Japan by water is to take a ferry from Busan, Korea to the port of Fukuoka. The Japanese do not require visas to enter the country from 67 countries. We were lucky enough to be among them. From the port in Fukuoka, we took a bus to Hakata Station. From there, Kumamoto can be reached by the Kyushu Railway Shikansen in about 50 minutes. At the station before the trip, it was necessary to replenish supplies, so the choice fell on the specialized store Eki Bento. A Japanese bento, as in many other places in the world, includes a portion for one person, usually for lunch. Here you can find meat, rice, salad and something sweet. Bento is not eaten on the spot. It is taken with you. The 500 series is a type of high-speed Shinkansen train operated by West Japan Railway Company, JR West, on the Takeido Shinkansen line from 1997 to 2010 and on the Sanyo Shinkansen line from 1997 and 2008. They were designed to be capable of 320 km/h, but operated at 300 km/h until they were retired from primary service by Nozomi in 2010. The train sets were then refurbished and modified to run at lower speeds at all Kodama stations between Shinosaka and Hakata. The predecessor of the Kumamoto Electric Railway, established in 1911, opened a 914mm gauge steam line from Ikeda Station to Sendanbutamachi Station. 2 years later, the line between Ikeda and Waifu Station was opened. 10 years later, the track was rebuilt to a gauge of 1067mm and electrified with direct current of 600 volts. The current section of the Kikuchi line between Kita-Kumamoto and Kami-Kumamoto was opened in 1950. This created 2 lines between these stations. Kumamoto Castle is a must-see for Europeans in particular. At the beginning, however, he is somewhat disappointed. At first glance it is clear that this has not been here since the Middle Ages, but that it was restored quite recently. The biggest disappointment, however, are the interiors, which have mostly not been preserved. We do know who lived here and when, but we cannot tell at first glance where he had a dining room, a study, or a bedroom. However, Kumamoto Castle is definitely worth a visit. Kumamoto Castle is a hilltop castle located in Chuaku, Kumamoto, in Kumamoto Prefecture. It was a large and well-fortified castle. The is a concrete reconstruction built in 1960, but a number of ancillary wooden buildings remain of the original castle. Kumamoto Castle is considered one of the 3 premier castles in Japan, along with Himeji Castle and Matsumoto Castle. so you take the elevator up. The view of the city and its surroundings is definitely worth it. Then you can walk down the stairs and pay more or less attention to the museum-type exhibits. Learn more.
The Kumamoto Electric Railway took us to the other end of the city to Suizenji Jojuen Garden. Japanese gardens have their unmistakable charm, even in May, when the spring flowers have already bloomed. Modern high-rise buildings create a somewhat inappropriate background for the garden. Kind of spoils the impression. However, the amazing fish cannot be overlooked. Suizenji Jojuen is a stroll garden set around a pond fed by springs from Mount Aso. Two stone bridges that date from the Meiji era, 1868 to 1912, are at the entrance. To the east is a strikingly symmetrical Jukiyama, or artificial mountain, evoking the shape of Mountain Fuji. To the north of the garden is the Izumi Shrine, dating from 1878, the year after the city of Kumamoto was burned down in the Satsuma Rebellion. It is said that the rebels may have used the miniature Mountain Fuji to mount an artillery battery in the attack. The pine tree here is said to have grown from a bonsai tadatoshi. A little further on is Inari Shrine, preceded by its vermilion gates. Just beside the shrine, which venerates the deity of the harvest, are 4 groves of plum trees that flower in early spring. Statue of Lord Fujitaka, Yusai, Hosokawa. Fujitaka, Yusai, Hosokawa, the first generation of the Higo Hosokawa clan, was born in Kyoto in 1534. He grew up in an academic environment. His most important turning point in his life was an encounter with Nobunaga Oda, who was the same age and a powerful feudal lord. They were bound together in a warm relationship of mutual trust. He established the foundation of the early modern Hosokawa clan as Nobunaga's direct retainer. He was one of the few warriors who served the Muromachi shogunate and the 3 great leaders, Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and Ieyasu. He was also a great cultural figure that mastered Japanese classical poems, linked poems, no and tea ceremony. He was especially a prominent poet. He initiated Imperial Prince Toshihito into the secret interpretation of Koken Wakashu, a Japanese classical poetry, in the room called Kokenden Jinoma. It was relocated to the present place, Suizenji Jojuen, from Kyoto and restored in 1912.